Hi there. So this is a short video on how to do part one of this summative. So here's a walkthrough on how to do this part. This is the page that you should see when you follow the link that I give you in the instructions. And from here, you're going to create this thing called a sandbox. Well, CodeHS calls it a sandbox here. They call it a program here, but it's all basically the same idea. So why don't you name this one? You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine Carol Summative, and then click Create Program. Now, it's going to ask you what type of program you want to create. There are all these options here. At some point, maybe later in your programming career, actually, if you follow my classes that I teach here at Woodstock, you'll end up doing a lot of these different types of programs. But the one that we want, CodeHS, defaults to the JavaScript Carol for us here. So we want JavaScript, let me try this. Here we go, JavaScript Carol. So just make sure it was already selected for me. I assume that it would be the same for you, but you want to just double check that, then go down and click Create Program. Now, what this is going to do is open up a new screen for you here that allows you, now you're sort of in a position where you can create kind of like an exercise in CodeHS. So what I'm going to do is move myself sort of down here, and notice we have a blank Carol world over here on the side. And what I'm asking you to do in part one of the summative is to create your own world. So by adding walls to the world and maybe repositioning Carol. So I'm going to go down and click the Edit Carol Worlds at the bottom here. And that takes me to a screen where it shows me all the worlds. There's only one world right now. And so I will edit that world. And I see something like this. Let me make it a little bit, resize it here a bit. And so what we can do here is, notice these buttons up here in the top. I can like add things to the world here. I can also, over here, change the start row and start column for Carol and the world width and height and the direction that Carol is facing. So I'm going to, I don't like the 10, maybe I want to make sort of a tall, skinny world. So let's do 5 wide and the height is 15. Okay, so I've made my own custom like shape world, and I'm going to click the Move Carol button here so that I can now move Carol's starting position. I just click where I want to put Carol at the beginning, and you can click it. Click Carol multiple times to change Carol's starting direction. So I'm going to have Carol starting facing down, maybe up there. Okay, now, so I'm just creating a world right now. I'm not going to move Carol around in the world. I'm going to add some walls to the world. So I click the Add Wall button, and then can just sort of click inside here to add some walls to the Carol world. And I'm asking you to add at least 5 walls to the world. Maybe I'll do this and kind of make some shelves in the middle there. All right, so here's my Carol world. I'm done. There's an option to add balls, but I'm asking you not to add balls in the beginning of this. That will be part of the program later on to actually drop balls in places. So don't add tennis balls right now. And I think that's it for part one. I'm gonna click the Save button. And then I can go up here and click back to right? Yes, back to worlds. And then back to program. Done all those steps, and now it brings me back to this point. So this is the stopping point for part one.